Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here. Welcome to another episode. Sorry for the brief interruption. We're finally in our new studio space. There's still work to do. We have some of our new equipment in that we're using right now, but there's other equipment still coming that you'll see behind me in a little bit. So thanks so much for tuning in, and it has been an interesting journey as we moved our production studio. It took about 3 months, quite a bit of work, and some real estate problems, but interesting experience and not to be repeated for quite a while. But today I want to start off because this weekend I went to a graduation for someone who actually finished in 2020. And that was from 2 years ago. And it made me really think about why I started the AI Guide to begin with. Because I started it for high school grads who are not going to college, to students in college and students just out of college and early in their careers. And the reason I started is because AI is going to transform the workplace completely. In fact, within a couple of years, I believe that everyone will have to have basic understanding of how to use AI at work. That doesn't mean you'll have to know how to program. It does not mean that. What it does mean, though, is that you will be using tools that are AI enabled to help you do your job. And you'll have to know what that means and how to work with it and all that. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? Because as you know from our frequent discussions together, work is going to change. Why automation? Why automation? Because you have multiple exponential technologies maturing all at the same time. And exponential technologies by their nature means that the changes happen very gradually and really out of sight at the beginning, so you don't really notice what's happening, but then all of a sudden it bursts out into the public and it takes over everything. So this is why I started the AI Guide a little over 2 years ago, to prepare you for this massive shift that's going to impact the bulk of your working lifetime if you're younger. In fact, AI will significantly impact anyone who is 50 or less, but my core audience, as you know, is students or new graduates and people who do certain kinds of manual jobs. And one of the things I'm working on, I've created a beta course called the AI Safe Career Pivot. And that is designed to help you change jobs to something that will be AI safe. So in general, broad terms, what jobs are AI safe? Well, those jobs are jobs that require human contact and presence. Those will be the last to be automated. Ultimately, they will be because all the people who would know what's going to happen to the world, because they have a long record of accurate predictions of the future. We're talking Ray Kurzweil and Peter Diamandis, the founders of Singularity University, and Elon Musk and some other people. But the routine, repetitive jobs will be the first to go, and we've talked about that. Sorting packages in warehouses, driving trucks, and so forth. But AI is not the only exponential technology, and we've talked about that since the beginning. The other ones that we have talked about already are robotics and 3D printing. And both of those are exponential in their own right, and they are converging with artificial intelligence because AI is an enabler of all other technologies. So there's been dramatic improvements in robotics in just 3 years. If you don't believe me, go to the Boston Robotics website, Look at a video on their website from 3 years ago, what their robots could do and what they were like to now. One that they just posted. Staggering. Well, the other exponential industry that we've talked about that is going through similar changes, 3D printing. So why is 3D printing an exponential technology? Well, first of all, 3D printing will be driven in the future almost entirely by artificial intelligence. But that's not the subject of today's chat. I happened across a company called Boston Microfabrication, and that company has broken the barrier to nanoscale 3D printing. This is a game changer. I have said in previous videos that once 3D printing went sub-micron, which is smaller than a micron in size of what can be printed, everything would change regarding 3D printing, and that has now happened. So what does that mean in the real world? Well, it means that first, all rich people within a very short period of time now, a few years, will have a 3D printer at home. And what will that 3D printer do? Well, it will print clothes, it will print food, it will print wine, it will print beer, it will print basically anything that a consumer uses. Sheets, towels, you name it. Once all the rich people start buying this, then it will get up to scale where the price drops to what's affordable for the middle class, and then for people who don't make that much after that. So I'll give you a parallel example that's perfect. 20 years ago, when the flat screen TV first came out, they were $10,000 a piece. Now that's $10,000 20 years ago, which is, in today's money is $20,000. So $20,000 is what it cost for one of the early flat screen TVs. You can get a better TV than the one you got for that $20,000 now, and probably bigger for $400. That is the path of exponential technologies. We've talked about Moore's law and transistors, and that's what's enabled this dramatic improvement in televisions. But this exact thing is going on with artificial intelligence, robotics, and 3D printing. So this company and others, there's a few others around the world that have reached sub-micron 3D printing, have hit a breakthrough in technology. And so from here on out, the principal limit will be teaching the printers to work with different types of materials and creating the algorithms to drive them. But as we know from what's happened with AI, which is our principal focus here, 2 years, dramatic improvement in artificial intelligence. So that's why these are exponential technologies, because the rate of improvement is increasing. And very, very soon, all this is going to become insanely visible. Amazon has ordered 200,000 fully autonomous, all-electric delivery vehicles. How about that? They are beginning production, I believe, this year, late this year, or early 2023 to start making those vehicles. So in a couple of years, hundreds of thousands of AI-driven vehicles will be on the road. Another example of that. You probably know about the new Ford electric F-150. And every major car company now has electric vehicles, but most of them still only have 1, 2, or 3. That is about to change very radically, because for 2023 model year, almost every manufacturer of any size making cars will probably have 5, And then if we get out to 2030, they expect to have 30 different all-electric models. Electric vehicles are the future. AI is the future of those electric vehicles. And gasoline for making vehicles run will go the way of the dodo bird. So this is all big stuff. And 3D printing will, once it's at scale and therefore affordable and cheap for people to buy a 3D printer, it'll change everything, right? Because then you won't have to go out to buy a bunch of stuff you buy now, because you'll be able to make it right in your own home. So it will decentralize the economy. These are such huge changes that it's difficult to even conceive of what the world will be like with these changes in place. And that is my mission, to make it real for you, to bring home what is happening so that it registers, and so that you click the link below, get your free resource, and everything in the resource is free to help you learn more about artificial intelligence. And if you do get the free resource and go through the process that's laid out, you will get the chance to participate for free in my beta course, the AI Safe Career Pivot, so that you can change your job to something that is safe from AI. And there's a bunch of jobs that will be for quite a while. So you want to be in one of those. So thanks so much for tuning in. We're back to our old original schedule of videos posting on Sunday. This one is slightly late, but Sundays and Wednesdays, new videos. And starting next week, May 22nd, 2022, we're back to the Sunday Live at 5 p.m. And then we will be doing a video like this for Wednesday. So thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Click the link below. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And we'll see you next time.